Welcome back, one and all, to Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. It's me. It's your best friend in the entire world here on YouTube. And if you are a sleuth or a private investigator or just a curious person of any kind, then you will know that these episodes will be going up on Spotify. The first one is already there. So if you're a fan of the podcasting stuff, you use Spotify, you can go to Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. There's another Jive Talkin guy, but I don't think he's Jive Talking about the same things I'm Jive Talking about. So you can listen there, or you can watch it on YouTube, where I put these videos up every Saturday, and the same day it will be available on Spotify as well. What am I doing in these episodes? This is number 2. Just reading through some stories, some interesting facts, factoids of all kinds about stories that are hard rock and heavy metal related. Can I do it better than anyone else? No. In fact, I use some of the sources, some of the great websites that I go to for my news is where I go for these stories, and then we just kind of talk about them and read them for the first time. I haven't seen any of these articles that I have all lined up for this episode. But I did want to give you guys a brief thing on the last episode. I talked about one of the stories was the Metallica Masterclass. I watched the whole thing. What's the word? Nothing burger. It was a whole lot of common sense, really. When it comes down to it, it's all basically common sense. They don't dive too deep into anything that, specifically that they do, really. At least not to me. James talked about how he does the lyrics and there's always blank spots, and he writes down one-liners, and then he goes, hey, this one-liner would fit here for this song. They talked about bass technique, and they give Robert Trujillo an opportunity to kind of talk about sounds and how to lay back on the bass or add more to it or do whatever. Just kind of that stuff that you basically would, if you were starting a band, you would get the idea right off the bat, what to do in a band situation. It is what it is, right? If you're in a rock band and it manages to be around for 40 years, congratulations. It is very hard to find a set of people that you can do that with all the time. But overall, I would say that masterclass, it was fun. It was fun to watch. And then there's like a 30-minute performance at the end of it. They do For Whom the Bell Tolls, I think. They do Enter Sandman. They do One. So there's 5 or 6 songs that they do as a performance at the very end of it. But it's just basically them talking about how they write songs and what they do. But it was pretty entertaining. So that being said, look at this spooky specter guy right here. This is the little man from Linkoping, Tobias Forge. Or you would call him Papa Emeritus 4. This is him in all his regale, and they're heading out on tour in January, or maybe they start it in December. I know where I'm at. They're going to be coming in January with Volbeat and this little band here, Twin Temple, and it's just kind of a little boo-wop, doo-wop, kind of a satanic doo-wop wife and husband and wife team, I guess. Maybe, probably not. But it says here, Ghost Tobias Forge reveals the concept behind the next album and hashtag Broadway metal. I've mentioned this before that I love Ghost. I absolutely think they're a fantastic band, but the last couple of albums, or the last album and the new single Hunter's Moon that they put out, gives off a vibe of Broadway, songs that you would hear at a Broadway play. So we're hoping, at least I'm hoping, that there's more of the old school kind of sounding stuff as opposed to the newer stuff. So let's get into this and see what he talks about. Ghost have been working on a new music, while Hunter's Moon recently appeared tied into a soundtrack for the Halloween Kills movie. I still haven't seen that. Is it good? Put that in the comments. More music is expected to follow in the next year. And thanks to a new Tobias Forge chat with KLAQ, fans have some insight into what to be expected. Forge explains, as heard in the, they got the player below. The album that I have been working on, I came up with the concept years ago. We played in Seattle in 2013, 2014, something like that. We played at a show box at the market. I remember that day I came up with the idea for this record, this upcoming record, because I got a book called The Rule of Empires. So basically, I wanted to make a record about the rise and ultimately the unescapable fails and falls of empires. Okay? An idea like that can take at least quite far. So once you get the idea, like, oh, now I know what the pile is going to look like. I know now, Jesus, what not to put in there. Okay. So what's it going to be? Let's listen to him. How about we listen to him? Let's hear what he says.
Welcome, Tobias Forge of Ghost.
Oh boy, this is a 29-minute song. We're not going
to only to be talking with you, but to once again hear Ghost. Hunter's Moon, first new song.
Okay, we're not going to listen to that because I don't want to get into all of that. I'm going to go on with the guys. I'm going on with the reading. I wouldn't say and it was the same thing with prequel. It was going to be about the great death and medieval primordial threat of annihilation, which was, I guess, I would say, carnal, but maybe a tiny tad more spiritual and philosophical death. Jesus, can you believe that I can't figure out the word philosophical? My God. With every presence of actual termination. I don't understand. The little man from Linkoping sometimes doesn't ring right with the talking. Probably a lot like me. I guess a little bit more. I don't want to say political, so it wasn't really hard to inspire by the last couple of years. I don't know what that means. The book that Forge references is actually titled The Rule of Empires, Those Who Built Them, Those Who Endured Them, and Why They Always Fall. In the book, author Timothy Parsons surveys imperial regimes from Rome's rule in ancient Britain to Spain and Peru, Britain, India, Kenya, and Nazi Germany occupied. I mean, that doesn't really give us a whole lot, right, on what it's about. But this does kind of scare me. The next Ghost album is expected in 2022, and the band appears to be putting things in motion to support it, recently revealing the early 2022 co-headlining tour with Volbeat and special guest The Twin Temple. So there you have that. I don't know what to make of any of that because it didn't really explain anything to me. What I want to hear, and maybe I'll have to go and listen to that 29-minute interview, is I want to hear him explain exactly what he's doing. Take a dash of this. I want this album to be heavier. I want it to be... I loved Opus Eponymous, the first album, and I liked the second album. A lot of people, Infestissimum, a lot of people had mixed reviews on that, and then Meliora was a fantastic record. So I want to see a little bit more of that style as opposed to the prequel stuff. But what say you? You can get in the comments and tell me what you think of Ghost overall. I know a lot of people that don't like them at all. Don't like anything about it. Just not my cup of tea. Don't want it. And then I know a lot of people that are uber fans. And if you're not familiar with the Ghost, what their deal is, and you're like, Shane, what is the deal with them? You're like Jerry Seinfeld. What is the deal with Ghost? Every album that they've released, Tobias Forge has been the lead singer for that album. The only difference is that it's been a different pope or papa on each. So he changes his look and his outfits and stuff. And the new album features a new papa. So you had Papa 1, you had Papa 2, you had Papa 3. Then, to change it up on the prequel album is when you saw the little fella that didn't have any face paint. But now the little fella has become a satanic wizard. And he has become, for this new album that will be coming out, he will become Papa 4. And supposedly he is still Cardinal Copia, but now he is now the Papa. Does that make any sense to anyone? So there you have that. And we will just have to wait and see what happens with all of this. If you get a chance, there's a great video and I wish I knew who made it, but it's a great little thing on, you can look on YouTube and how Ghost writes a song. And it's pretty spot on. It's a little funny skit, and they're wearing ghost masks and stuff, but it's a pretty spot on how they kind of have been writing music. And the song damn near sounds like something that Ghost could put out when they play it for you at the end. But I would love you to get in the comments below and tell me what you think of Ghost, and are you excited for the new album, and are you excited for the tour? Beer break. Well, this next thing, I mean, if we're talking about the evil, the little man from Linkoping, you got to talk about the Prince of fucking Doffness, Ozzy Osbourne, new album to arrive in early 2022. He put out that album Ordinary Man, and I guess probably a lot of people thought that he wouldn't be doing anything else because he's not capable of touring. But I did remember reading something where he talked about how he really wanted to keep, even if he can't go out and do the full tours like he used to do, he wants to keep putting out albums. And lo and behold, as you can see right here, he's going to be having a new album in 2022. Ozzy Osbourne followed up the 2020's Ordinary Man, is expected to be released early next year. In a new financial statement released by Sony, the Black Sabbath singer name is listed under the section titled Selected Upcoming Releases Anticipated Over the Next 6 Months. How do you get a financial statement like that? I guess it's just they put that out. Alongside projects like Adele, Alicia Keys, Black Eyed Peas, and Travis Scott. Really? Among others. Wow. While no specific release date is mentioned on the report, Ozzy, who is signed to Sony Music, recently confirmed that 15 songs have been recorded for his next LP. That's a long player. He is once again working with producer Andrew Watt. Now, he's the guy that put together the most of the music for The Ordinary Man. I believe it was the drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was Duff McKagan on the bass. It was this Andrew Watt on guitar, and he wrote most of the music, as near as I can tell. And they did that Post Malone thing, where Post Malone actually put it on his... If you don't know who Post Malone is, he's a hip-hopper. He's one of them hip-hop fellows, and he put out the song, whatever it was called, on his record, and Ozzy also put that on his record. So they collaboed on that. Very interesting. While no specific it's LP, he is once again working with Andrew Watt on the work-in-progress effort, which will include guest appearances by Jeff Beck, wow, Eric Clapton, Holy Bananas, Tony Iommi, gee whiz, and Zakk Wylde. I was curious when they put out Ordinary Man, why Zakk Wylde wasn't on that record. And if he was, he had very little to do with it. I did hear an interview with Zakk Wylde where he said, doesn't bother me. The boss man wants to do what he wants to do. I'm happy to do it when he wants to do it. And if he wants to do it with me, and if he doesn't, and he wants to try something else out, he's welcome to do it. And Zakk Wylde has tons of shit going on himself. So it's no problem if they've got a tight relationship, it seems to me, that him and Ozzy really do have a really close relationship. So he's like, go for it, bro. You do you. I could see Zakk Wylde, with his big Viking beard and his muscles, just looking at little Ozzy going, bro, you do you, right? Last month, Ozzy told Metal Hammer magazine that his new album will be similar in tone to Ordinary Man, but I can't describe it completely. I've not heard it for a while because it keeps going over to the next person to add their parts. We're fucking around with it all the time. I'm curious because Ozzy, there's been things in the past with Jakey Lee not getting credited and stuff, how that works, because I'm pretty sure that they're going into the studio and Andrew Watt and whoever else is writing the material. So how's that going to work? Is it like, are they sharing the credits or what? I know that one of Jakey Lee's biggest issues with anything is not necessarily the money, but he would like to see his name on the, from an interview that I listened to, he talked about how he would like to see his name in the credits of the Bark at the Moon album. He's not featured on there. And I don't know if he's actually featured on the Ultimate Sin, if his name's on the inside inserts. I had that cassette tape a long time ago, but, you know, just me bringing up the words cassette tape is enough to make you go, oh, okay. Watt connected with Ozzy Osbourne after meeting Ozzy's daughter Kelly at a friend's party and pitching her an idea of Post Malone and Ozzy collaborating together. 7 months ago, Ozzy told UK's Metal Hammer magazine that he and Andrew had completed more than a dozen of his next studio LP. My only concern right now is finishing the bloody thing, he said. We've got the same production time as the last time, so there's definitely going to be some similarities, but you'll just have to wait and see what you think. What do we think of the Ordinary Man album? I didn't think that it was too shabby. I thought it was going to be a massive hit. I don't have any numbers on that, but like Ordinary Man, it will feature Watt on guitar, Duff McKagan, Guns N' Roses on bass, and Chad Smith, Red Hot Chili Boys, on the drums. Ozzy's next album will feature guest appearances by a number of other notable musicians. It's weird that Eric Clapton would be on that, right? Would you know my name? That guy that's If I Saw You in Heaven and all that stuff. So get in those comments and tell me what you think about Ozzy Osbourne. He's out there. He's still making the records and stuff. I did kind of feel like with Ordinary Man that I was like, man, this might be the last thing that he ever does. But now I'm starting to think maybe he's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 more albums to go. Because he's still kicking, he's still rocking, he's still, he might not be able to get out there and shake the booty and tour as much as he used to. But, that doesn't mean the creative juices stop flowing, right? Let's move on from there. I mean, since we're talking about crazy people and whatnot, I saw this story that blew my socks off. This guy looks like a wreck, man. I know the son didn't do that to him. I don't think the cops did that, but father accidentally shoots son after he plays too much guitar. This guy looks beat, man. He's got the eyes of a serial killer. This is an angry man. Daddy's watching the game right now. You don't play your guitar. Fred Hensley Sr. of Blue Ash, Ohio, was reportedly attempting to shoot his son's guitar, but instead shot his son. Mr. Fred Hensley, if your son's wearing the guitar, you're trying to shoot him too. He shot him in the rib cage. Oh my God, and he's got the same name. Fred Hensley Sr. shot Fred Hensley Jr. You don't shoot your own damn name, you son of a bitch. He looks like the devil. He looks like a dude that gets roughed up in the bars. He starts talking, and people say, old man, get lost. 79-year-old resident of Blue Ash, Ohio, stands accused of shooting his son because he had been playing guitar for too long. Whatever happened to embracing your children? They'd come home with them goddamn ugly macaroni, pictures, and you'd hang them on the fridge and go, look at what you've done, son. This kid's trying to be creative. He's trying to make music. He's not out busting windows and doing stupid shit. He's in his room playing his guitar. You're going to come in and rough him up in there? According to court documents obtained by Local 12 WKRC in Ohio, Fred Hensley Sr., 79, is said to have shot his son, Fred Hensley Jr., 50. His son's 50 years old? With a 38 pistol, Sunday, October 24th. Because he'd been playing guitar for over an hour despite the senior Hensley's request for him to stop. He's 50? He's older than me. and he's living with his dad. He might have deserved this. You know, those bullets going into that guitar or whatever, they were for a whole slew of reasons. Now, I'm telling you, it is not a good idea to shoot anyone at any time with any kind of a gun. Unless they're entering your home, they've broken in the windows, you know, and they're attempting to steal something from your house or whatever. I mean, but your own son, but he's 50 though. See, isn't that interesting when you read a story and then all of a sudden it starts to make sense? Fred Hensley Sr. did not shoot his son because he was playing the guitar for too long. That was just the sugar on top of the strawberries on top of the cream pie. His son probably doesn't have a job or do anything. And so hearing him in there playing the guitar is enough to make a man go crazy, right? According to a report from Fox 19, Hensley Sr. told Blue Ash police he was only trying to shoot near his son. It's those old 79-year-old eyes. Report states that Hensley Sr. told the police that he was trying to shoot the guitar. After he shot, reportedly, in the ribcage area, Hensley Jr. allegedly attacked his father, causing injury. Okay, so I was under the impression this son was going to be like, you know, maybe it was a late in life kid. You know, he's 79, but he got frisky at about 60. And you know, so it was a younger kid, not a 50-year-old. Says that after he shot reportedly in the ribcage area, Hensley Jr. allegedly attacked his father, causing injury to Hensley's face and mouth. When questioned by police, Hensley Jr. said he did not remember hitting his father. I was losing blood. Look at this. Is that, who is that guy? Isn't that, I don't know, Dweezil Zappa? Hamilton County, Ohio court document states that Hensley Sr. has been charged with felonious assault and is currently being held. Well, I mean, you know, $50,000 bond. While Daddy's in jail, he can play the guitar. You know, he's going to keep playing that guitar. See, when I saw this dude's face, I went, this happened at a bar. And now we know that he probably was like, I've told the boy, my 50-year-old son, several times to stop playing the guitar, and he just roughs me up. So I'll go in with some protection this time. And I'll shoot his guitar, his sweet Ibanez. He's got a sweet Ibanez. The only thing that make this story better is if he had just got it for him last Christmas. Oh wow, Dad, it's the Ibanez I've been asking for. Yeah, you only play it during these times, because if you play it more than I ask you to, then you're gonna get shot, son. You're gonna get shot. Next up in this fun journey is the what happened with Slipknot. Played a concert and they started a bonfire, so they had to stop the show. Phoenix fans the flames. Slipknot's Maggots create bonfire in the mosh pit. What is this? Woodstock 99? I watched that documentary, if you haven't seen that, the Woodstock 99 one on HBO, and it talked about was it Limp Bizkit that caused all that mayhem and havoc at the Woodstock 99? And I would say no. I would say they didn't help it any, but right from the get-go that day, they had people getting up there that were pretty, in a pissy mood. Then they said there was no water, and the bathrooms overflowed. So if you ever saw those MTV clips where they're doing flips in the mud and stuff, that's not mud. That's feces. Feces and urine. Is urine part of the feces, or is feces the caca-poo-poo, right? It would be urine and feces is what it would be. Slipknot roadshow set at the Ak-Chin Pavilion. And, there's a typo there. They didn't put an N in this little article. In Phoenix, Arizona, was disrupted last night as some over-enthusiastic maggots set the mosh pit ablaze during their headline performance. Clearly aware of the notants roadshow, I think these are spelling errors, will wrap this coming weekend with a brace of shows in Los Angeles. The good people of Phoenix gave the visitors a warm welcome by torching man, they're spelling it shit all over in here. Lawn chairs, not law chairs. Law chairs where you go and you sit in the courtroom. Ma'am, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Sit in the goddamn law chair and let's get to it. In the venue's general admission standing area. According to some concert goers, the show was halted and fire trucks were brought on site to quell the flames, which meant that in order to complete their set before curfew, the Knot were forced to cut 2 songs, Duality and Spit It Out, from their set. Does Corey Taylor say, guys, don't do that. Don't set fires and stuff, okay? There's a video. Let's take a peek at this. You know there's ding-dongs going through the mosh pit right now. And nobody is filming the damn concert. They're filming the flames. I mean, it really shows how caveman we really are, right? You know, fire. It is the amazing thing. It has amazed people for millions of years. Fire. And you can have Slipknot up there rocking away, but I will take a picture of the bonfire. You ever sit at a camp, you know, when you go camping or something like that, and isn't it just peaceful as shit to just sit there and stare into the flames? And you just think about your life and everything you're doing, and you hear the wind blowing through the trees and the chirping or the rattlesnakes or whatever around you. But you just sit there in your chair and you just you watch those flames as they do a ballet dance, right? And it's very soothing and very peaceful. And so that's what people that were, you know, it's that caveman DNA. Slipknot, I know they're up there rocking. You know, the true cavemen here are still moshing, but they're moshing through the bonfire, right? Come on, let's see a little bit more of this. Come on, I don't want that goddamn... Yeah, they're moshing right around it. They're going right around it. This guy's like, oh yeah, concert's going on. And what do they have down there that's like, oh, the guy's just tossing lawn chairs over into it. That's all out life. Is he going to say anything? Hey, everyone piss on that fire. Yeah, they're tossing lawn chairs in there. This is one of them grass lawn seats. So all the people that you see down front, they've paid extra and they've got good sit-down seats for the concert. And then they sell these cheap seats that are out on these lawns. And you can hardly see anything. You can hardly hear anything. So what do? You start a bonfire. I challenge you to... Yeah. Now you got the whirlybird, the police whirlybird going, we have a situation down there. Well, this guy knows all the words. Oh, everyone around this guy just loves him. They're like, oh, this guy knows all the words. We all know the words, but this guy's going to sing them. You know, he's going to sing them right out loud for us all to join in. So we all know that he knows the words because he's a real big Slipknot fan. Is this guy going to rob a liquor store afterwards? See, this will get you throwing some lawn chairs. This will get you throwing old Aunt Nan's quilt right in the fire. It's like, yeah, I brought old Aunt Nan's quilt so we could stay nice and warm, but you know what? The bonfire's going, so let's toss that in there. But it's like 40 years old. Aunt Nan's quilt there. It's for, yeah, so what? We are not her kind. Shout out to Corona on that pole there. Oh, there goes another, there's another lawn chair. Toss it in, bro. Shout out to Corona that's on that pole there, because it's what I'm having here. That's why I get gas. I always get gassy when I'm drinking beer. Burpy, not really assy gassy, but. Is he gonna say something about it? Like. One good thing about. And I can't, no, I'm not a professional. I'm no doctor of any kind, but I'm willing to bet the flames burning the flesh of the people will kill the coronavirus. I guarantee that. You throw someone that's got coronavirus into that bonfire, they won't have coronavirus very long. Yeah, you just, that's a massive fire in the middle of that place. And what do you do there? Well, you got to stop the concert, and maybe you start the bonfire about halfway through the set. You know, so you know, okay, well, the police are going to show up and they're going to shut all this down. So let's fire it up about halfway through the set. And then by the time they get there, Slipknot will be finishing up. They'll be so happy with us that we've, you know, destroyed property and burned a giant hole in the lawn and everything. Another thing I'd be curious about is if... there's another lawn chair. There's relationships that have broken up at this concert. You've thrown something that I did not want thrown in that fire. It's like, baby, I had 7 of those, you know, $15 beers. And I'm sorry I threw our good lawn chairs into the fire, but you know, it was all in the moment, you know? What's he doing? Oh, it is close to Thanksgiving. He's doing the little gobbler. Another lawn chair. Jesus, there's another one. Oh my God, they're throwing all... These chairs all look the same too. I'm wondering if they're like property of the venue. How many have we watched? That's at least 7 that we've watched launch in there. And that's some, you know, that nylon shit that they put on those chairs too is noxious. All that smoke you see there, that is not good stuff to be inhaling. That's like 500 cigarettes. Burn, baby, burn. There's another chair. Oh, what's this? This guy over here, he's got a little spray thing. I fear that that's not, I fear that you're not close enough for one, and 2, that's not going to cut it for that flame. There's another chair going in. That's 10. Anywho, yes, indeed. So Slipknot fire in Phoenix. I'd love you to get in the comments below and tell me what you thought of that. And finally, for this episode, and I think we're gonna do this on every episode, is we're gonna head on over to the YouTube comments for the last episode of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, and we're gonna see what the folks are saying, good, bad, and otherwise. I hope there's not a lot of bad, but I think that I'll do that, and this is the 2nd episode, so what a perfect time to start doing that, right? And you're welcome to say, Shane, you've got such great ideas. I really like what you're doing. Our wonderful friend Whitebread says, when you form a band, Do it with only friends or people you respect. My master class for free of charge. So he's talking about the Metallica. I would agree. The only thing that is hard about doing bands with friends is sometimes there's a lot of, look, if you're in it to make $1 billion, you need the best of the best. If you have friends that don't cut the mustard, but you're like, we can't kick him loose. He's my best pal, man. It's just an honest piece of advice for you. If you're playing with people that you know are not up to snuff and your whole goal in life is to be a famous rock guy, you need to go where the rock is good, or you need to find the musicians in your town that you know are able to deliver. Friendship aside, sometimes I know I've got a lot of friends that ended up in situations like that where they're just jamming and they just don't have the heart to find the best of the best of the best to do it. And sometimes you're the weak link in the situation, and you're like, oh shit. So you're thankful they don't kick you loose. But at the same sense, if you really want to make it, you've got to find the guys that have the same mindset. Miss Althea, the wonderful Miss Althea, she says, love this title of this new segment. Not only is it fun, but it is also my fave BG tune. Yes, that's why. Jive Talkin. But you can't use that because then they take all the money for it. Also, my favorite Bee Gees tune in my top 5 of the 70s picks in general. You're leaving me looking like a dumbstruck fool, darling. Ooh, what to say about any of this stuff? You pretty much tied it up in a bow. I had to crack up over Danzig's promo. Yeah, that was really, really bad. Did the film go over budget so there wasn't even a scrap remaining for a decent trailer? And Bill Ward's poem was somewhere between Edgar Allan Poe and a throwaway song from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes. He might have stole some of that, for all we know. I mean, he's like, what would Danny Elfman come up with? He's like, what would... Okay, that's what I'll do. Jolly Jake Lavelle, he's a newer fella that's hanging out, but Nikki will be getting the rest of the crew life alerts for Christmas. Yes. Vince Neil falling off the stage. They should probably use those life alerts, where you hit the button. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. Tone Marie and Antonsen. Wasp have added more dates. Not sure if they can get all the stuff in the smaller venues. Yeah, Wasp, I guess they've announced more dates. I did see a video, and I don't have it available here right now, but there's a small clip video of him actually, Blackie Lawless is voicing over that comment that I read in the last episode going, it's going to be the most bloody thing. It's going to be the most horrifying thing. We're taking it back to the first tour we ever did, and we never did again. So he sounds like a broadcaster when you hear him doing like the talking stuff, like I was trying to think of some of his lyrics from that Inside the Electric Circus album is basically an erotic porno album the whole way through. Every song, hot and sticky, here it comes. Slide it into place, my emotions coming down all across your face. Everything is really dirty. You know what I was thinking of with that broadcaster voice is that whole thing, the Manimal thing, or this one goes out to the PMRC. They say we are sexual perverts. That's where I got that from. I didn't make that up. Someone got angry at me one time. It's not that. It's not that. Well, I didn't say it. He said it. Okay. Sticky Doll. Yes, we know Sticky Doll. Oh, Blackie, lay off the chocolate cake. We love you though. Great new show, Shane. Thank you, Sticky Doll. They do you can look up Sticky Doll on. I guess they have a Facebook show. Very bizarre. They love Wasp. They love Blackie Lawless a lot, but it's a very bizarre little thing to behold. And you can find that on. I think they got an Instagram but I think they do their podcast on Facebook. Okay, this is someone asking for a request of a video. And then MB here says, Blackie Lawless was a sociopath who stepped on everyone he could to get where he was. Then he found God, but not the humility to apologize for what his greed did to Chris Holmes and Randy Piper. If he can't repent and mend his sins against others, then he is a Christian in name only, and he'll be judged by his Lord when the time comes. Yes, I don't know that the Lord's going to be concerned about Chris Holmes getting any writing credits or not. But very good point there. You know, if you're going to do that 40th anniversary, don't do it with give everyone a call, give everyone the opportunity to be part of that is what I would say. But get in them comments now. Don't you understand that? Get in the comments and maybe we'll read yours on the next episode. We're finishing this up here. I'm very happy with the way that's going. I'm not a professional broadcaster. I'm not a professional, anything really. But I enjoy looking at those news stories. I enjoy doing it even more with you. I hope that you can handle my reading techniques because they're not very good, apparently. But that's all I've got for this episode number 2 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. And I hope that you tune in each and every week. I will put these up on Saturdays. If you don't see one on Saturday, you say, oh, Shane got busy. Shane had to mow the lawn or Shane had to do something. But for the most part, I think I'm going to try to go through this stuff every Saturday. And it will be up on Spotify as well if you're interested in listening to it. So get in those comments for this, people on YouTube. Get in the comments because I think I'm going to run that as a segment each and every time. At the very end, we'll go through some comments that you guys left on the YouTube video. So that's all I got. Swinging in. I love you so much. Take good care of yourself. Be safe. Be well. Be happy. Have a good week. And do all the things that you need to accomplish in this week's time. Swinging in. Here we go. Hot and sticky. Here it comes. Emotion you can't take. Emotions coming down all across your face. I'm gonna shoot it. Bang, boom. Shoot it from the hips.